This is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. Welcome to my YouTube station and my home, my office home. I've moved out of an office. I love to do my YouTube show. I've worked at IRS for a decade. I was the IRS. I've worked thousands of cases. I've been on the national news many times. Just go to my website and learn about me at 777irs.com. You know, in working offers and compromise, I've seen a lot. I used to accept them and deny them. I could see an offer, spot an offer. I could tell you if it's going to go through. If you owe $1 million, can you settle your tax debt for pennies on a dollar? The answer is yes, you can. If you owe $50,000, can you settle for pennies a dollar? Yes. If you owe $125,000, the answer is yes to everything. But you have to know something. It all depends on your financial statement and what IRS is looking at. It all comes down to that financial statement. You can settle millions of dollars of debt. I've settled millions of. I think I submitted an offer one time, millions of dollars. We settled a case for $5,000. Why? The person was broke. So what IRS does is they look at the history of the taxpayer. What was their earning potential? What is their age? What are they doing? Do they go to college? Do they have earning potential? Can they reasonably get some money if the statute's in 10 years, 5 years? You have to calculate all this stuff in your head. That's why when I look at an offer, I'm going to know in about, a minute whether that offer and compromise is going to go through. I don't care what your debt is. I can settle any debt if your financial statement qualifies. What is that big if you need to know? IRS is going to look at two things. They're going to look at your assets and what the value of those assets are. IRS is not going to settle for any less than the value of your assets. If you have $100,000, IRS isn't going to settle for any less than $100,000. It's my wife, by the way. If in fact you make about $10,000, $12,000, $13,000 a month, IRS isn't going to accept your offer because you're making a little too much money. There's a magic formula that when you look at the offer, you know it. So if you know what your assets are, that's the base amount. Then here's the tricky thing about income and expenses. IRS is not going to allow your expenses that you put down. They don't allow for credit card debt. There's a lot of junk that you may have on that. IRS only allows X amount of expenses. Pull the form. A good form to look at, I like, is the 433A. It's not the offer form. The offer form is the 433A OIC, but I like the 433A better. It's the one revenue officers use. This way you can see on page 4, pull it up, the IRS financial statement, page 4. It'll let you know what IRS is going to allow. But here's the tricky thing about your offer. You're going to put your expenses in. IRS is going to wipe them out and say, no, you have to use our expenses. You're going to say, well, that's not fair. Well, it is, according to IRS, because it's their game. IRS is going to use what the Department of Labor says you should be spending for food and clothing, housing and utilities, car payments, and car expenses. So your expenses go out, theirs in, and now you have to recalculate the formula. IRS has a pre-qualifier tool. You can Google IRS PreQualifier tool, and then you'll learn it's not really accurate, but you're going to get an idea. If you owe a lot of money, you want to settle your debt, call me. I'm one of the leading experts in the United States on the offer. Peter Salinger, my partner, probably worked well over 3,500 as a supervisor. We have a book coming out, but I'm not selling that crap right now. Anyway, give me a call if you want. I answer all my phone calls. I answer with this phone. I'll look at your offer, let you know if I want to work it, and I'll tell you exactly what IRS is going to settle for. Thank you for your ear. Give me a subscription. Now you know the truth.